It's another beautiful day for imaginations to run wild. Welcome to Jade's Story Hub. Imaginations run wild here. Today, our story will be based on an African folklore character popularly known as Kweku Ananse. Kweku Ananse and the Golden City. The next day, early in the morning, Intikuma packed everything his father needed and the things he would also need for this trip. Anansi stepped out with Intikuma as he looked at his other children and said to them, I am leaving with Intikuma on a journey, and your aunties are going to take care of you whilst I am gone. I want you to make sure that you respect each and every word she says. You obey her and do not spend the money as if it is water flowing down a fountain. Anansi says to his children, and make sure to hug each and every one of them, telling them that he loves and cares for them, and this journey is for a better future which he wants to assure for his children. That day, Intikuma saw his father and himself to the airport as they took a plane to this land that they are in search of. That evening, Intikuma was carrying Anansi's bag of gadgets on his head as Anansi walks behind him, waddling with his walking stick, one hand supported by his waist, his eyebrows furrows as he asked Intikuma to have a rest. I told you that place was a mermaid, but she won't listen. Cars do not come in here, and we've been walking for hours. Are you sure we got the map right? Intikuma asked his father. Anansi takes in a deep breath and turns to his son. We are almost there, son. Will you just shut up and rest before you carry that heavy things again? I can't believe no cars or train pass through here. This is quite exhausting. Intikuma, looking at his father, he shook his head sideways and said to him, this golden city should be called the Golden Village. Anansi spots something from afar and immediately taps Intikuma's shoulder, signaling him it was time to go. Anansi and Intikuma approached a big gate, painted golden, with two guards in front of it, each guard well armored. The first guard walked up to them and asked, where do you think you are going? Anansi, looking at him, he lowered his gaze and replied, we are but travelers passing through. We wonder if you would be kind enough to let us rest here in your humble city. As you can see, the day is almost at its end. We have nowhere else to turn to rest our heads for the night. The second guard approached them, pointing at the bag that Intikuma carries on his head. And what do you have in there? Anansi smiles, turning to the guards. Nothing of much importance, he replied, as he opens the bag and smirks as the guards stare at Kinte with bafflement. The second guard looks at them and says to the first guard, I will inform Eja, which is the chief, about them. The guard left, leaving his colleague with Anansi and his son. He returns later and the gates was wide open for Anansi and his son to enter. The first guard looks at them and says, the chief would like to meet you too and welcome you to our humble city. As Anansi and Intikuma were led by the guards into the city, they stared with bafflement, astonished as they watched the young beautiful ladies carrying foodstuffs, children giggling as they play, men and women going about their daily lives. At a glance, they could tell that indeed this is a city of gold. Intikuma couldn't take his eyes off a particular young lady he spotted. He smiles at her and she smiles back before looking away shyly. They finally arrived at the chief's palace and were welcomed. Stay tuned for the continuation of this amazing story. Have a wonderful day today. Make good decisions, and I wish you all the best in your endeavors. Well, don't forget to like, leave a comment of your thoughts on this story, and subscribe